chapter 3. Woe to her that is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. She hearkened not to the voice, she received not correction, she trusted not in the Lord, she drew not near to her God. Her princes in the midst of her are roaring lions, her judges are wolves of the desert, they leave not a bone for the morrow. Her prophets are wanton and treacherous persons, her priests have profaned that which is holy, they have done violence to the law. The Lord who is righteous is in the midst of her. He will not do unrighteousness. Every morning does he bring his right to light. He faileth not. But the unrighteous knoweth no shame. I have cut off nations. Their corners are desolate. I have made their streets waste, so that none passeth by. Their cities are destroyed, so that there is no man, so that there is no inhabitant. I said, surely you will fear me. You will receive correction. So her dwelling shall not be cut off, despite all that I have visited upon her. But they betimes corrupted all their doings. Therefore wait you for me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour on them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with my fire, with the fire of my jealousy. For then will I turn the peoples a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of the Lord, to serve him with one consent. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia shall they bring my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersal, as mine offering. In that day shalt you not be ashamed for all your doings, wherein you have transgressed against me. For then I will take away out of the midst of you your proudly exalting ones, and you shall no more be haughty in my holy mountain. And I will leave in the midst of you an afflicted and poor people, and they shall take refuge in the name of the Lord. The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. For they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. Sing, O daughter of Zion, shout, O Israel. Be glad and rejoice with all the heart, O daughter of Jerusalem. The Lord hath taken away your judgments. He hath cast out your enemy. The King of Israel, even the Lord, is in the midst of you. You shall not fear evil any more. In that day it shall be said to Jerusalem, fear you not, O Zion. Let not your hands be slack. The Lord your God is in the midst of you, a mighty one who will save. He will rejoice over you with joy. He will be silent in his love. He will joy over you with singing. I will gather them that are far from the appointed season, who are of you, that have borne the burden of reproach. Behold, at that time I will deal with all them that afflict you. I will save her that is lame, and gather her that was driven away. I will make them to be a praise and a name, whose shame hath been in all the earth. At that time will I bring you in, and at that time will I gather you, for I will make you to be a name and a praise among all the peoples of the earth, when I turn your captivity before your eyes, saith the Lord. All right, let's go back up to verse 1. Remembering yesterday we were talking about even Nineveh, this great capital city of Assyria, this Asher, this step up, this altar there, this is what it is and means. And we were talking about even the great house of that they had built up there, and how they had done it, and how they'd mingled in and brought all this stuff in and made them a great city. And God was using this as an example so that we could have understanding, that we could see now what we're talking about, this city. He's used it as an example so that we can see what they've done there, because this is what God's trying to tell you about. This is what's going on. This is what's happened, but God caused it. God wants you to understand that. See, God is trying to show himself, make himself known through a great and marvelous work. And we're going to find out that Zephaniah is going to let us know. Zephaniah is telling us that this is why God's done this. This is why God done this, for this purpose. Verse 1. Woe to her that is filthy and polluted, the oppressing city. And that's who we're talking about, this filthy and polluted city, this oppressing city, this city that's done this, because they use this to keep rule, this immingling of, to keep rule over now the people. And it's a similitude, it's an example even of this city, even the great city of the end time, that does this same thing. They have done the same thing, and there is no difference in it. Verse 2, she hearkened not to the voice. She received not correction. She trusted not in the Lord. She drew not near to her God. She didn't listen. And that's because we're not talking about Nineveh now. We're talking about the city even God used for an example. God, the one God punished. Why? Because of what they did. They mingled in. They oppressed. They set up idolatry. She didn't receive the correction. She didn't take and listen now to the punishment that God was given. See, that God was handing out and using there to correct, to try to change you back into your ways. 3, her princes in the midst of her are roaring lions. Her judges are wolves of the desert. They leave not a bone for the morrow. And this morrow is the morning. Boker is morning. They don't leave no bone for the morning. They devour it. It's all gone because they're wolves of the desert. These wolves of the desert are the predators in the desert that are starving. They have to run around. They're howling all in the night. See, starving, because the prey in the desert is far and few between. They have no understanding. These are the dry places that God puts them there. And they look for their prey there. And this is a similitude as well. These are the ones who lie in wait for their brother's soul, that they might take it and use it for a prey, to make gain unto themselves even. Her princes in the midst of her are roaring lions. They're ready to devour. They're ready to jump on a prey. These princes, they're the higher ones in the association. They sit around and teach to hunt, so to speak. 4, her prophets are wanton and treacherous persons. Her priests have profaned that which is holy. They have done violence to the law. The prophets are wanton and treacherous persons. And what this means, they're just evil. These people are flat out evil, having no understanding. Doing this is a judgment against God, because truly that's who they are inside, and they have no understanding. If they had any understanding, they would have sought out the law of God in the beginning. This is the covenant God made with all humanity. Can't be done away with. This covenant can't be done away with. But they're always teaching gain. They're always teaching how to gather gold. Her priests have profaned that which is holy. They profaned that which is hallowed. They profaned that which was set aside. They profaned that which was given even. They have done violence to the law. They broke every law there was. They're disobeying the law by mingling in. See, and this is what was going on in Nineveh. This is what's going on. This is what God used as a similitude, an example, so that you could have understanding, to be able to see and know this is judgment of God. 5, the Lord, who is righteous, is in the midst of her. He will not do unrighteousness. Every morning does he bring his right to light. It faileth not, but the unrighteous knoweth no shame. The Lord, he's just. The Lord is just. He's not unjust. And if the Lord is in the midst of us, the Lord is in the midst of you. If God, who's the only God, is in the midst of you, there's no unrighteousness found there. Why? Well, God is righteous and does not allow that. See, and if they tolerate that which is unrighteous, see, we find out there's no righteousness there, no understanding there. And of course, this is further violation of the law. But see, every morning, every boker doth he bring his right to light. Every morning See, God brings his judgment to light. God brings his judgment to understanding. Why, it's plain as day. It's right there like the nose on your face. It faileth not every day. He brings understanding. The law comes up with the sun. But the unrighteous knoweth no shame. They don't care. See, they have no care. They keep teaching this. And as long as they keep in their ways of gain, this is what's going to be. But we are given the power to cut them off. God actually already has. 6. I have cut off nations. Their corners are desolate. I have made their streets waste, so that none passes by. Their cities are destroyed, so that there is no man, so that there is no inhabitant. He cut off the nations. See, God made a separation. God drew the line. He cut off their corners, and they're desolate. And these corners represent the place where the wall would turn. Where the wall would turn, there would be the place of the guard. There would be the post, where the sentry would be, the one who would guard the city. God's cut those off. He's made their streets waste. Why? He's took away their sentries. He's left them wide open to be invaded, because they have no understanding. See, they all after their own gains, like God said. I'll take away their knowledge and their understanding. See, you can't stop it when God works within. When God's working inside, and all you can do is work outside, you can't stop it. See, you can't stop these things from happening, and that's their cities are destroyed. And these are them high places they made. They're great places. These places that they've exalted even in their understandings. 7. I said, surely you will fear me, you will receive correction, so her dwelling shall not be cut off, despite all that I have visited upon her. But they, betimes, corrupted all their doings. And these betimes is before, as before they corrupted all their doing. Because it's a wheel. See, it's on a wheel that goes around. It's a circle that goes round. And sooner or later, all these works of men are made known by their fat seed, how they set themselves up. They've got all this great understanding it seems that nobody can achieve without. See, you go into a place and being taught by men who teach you lies, and they teach you this or that. They teach you to go astray. But see, God set up a law. God set up the covenant in the beginning to keep his law for your own good. See, he give you that as knowledge. He give you that as understanding. He give you that as your wisdom. See, and anything else you need, God's got it right there. All you got to do is ask God, and he gives it. See, it's all in his law. It's all in the understanding of God and how God works. It's not in their little ceremonies. See, it's not in the symbolism. It's not in the traditions. See, where it's at is in obedience. See, obedience and understanding, knowledge. See, this is where life comes from. See, life doesn't come from wealth. Life doesn't come from gold. See, you can have all that and just be brought deeper and deeper into sin. And perversion and immorality. There's no life there. And all your gold and silver can't rescue you from there. See, God has a way of working and that men don't understand. Men have no understanding of. And they're just subject to God constantly and the law. 8. Therefore wait you for me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. You want to know why God did it? Why have you gathered all the nations together, Lord? Why do you call all unto one? See, because this is my determination, to gather the nation, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, my stored up anger. this pent-up anger and wrath that I have, even all my fierce anger. And the earth shall be devoured, and the earth is devoured, sucked up in the fire. This fire, what is the fire? The fire of the law of God come down in judgment. Even the fire of my jealousy. Jealousy. You've made the Lord jealous. Why? You stood up there. And we're going to find out. Ezekiel's going to tell us all about it, how it went down. They stood it up right in the temple. See, we have Manasseh after Hezekiah, to give us this history. It's documented right there in the book of Kings, second book of Kings. See, there's nothing hidden. This is the example that was made. God makes this example over and over. God has caused the circle to go round, see. God is going to cause to be made known. God's going to show himself mighty. 9. For then will I turn the peoples to a pure language, that they may call upon the name of the Lord, to serve him with one consent. See, to serve God with one understanding, not a bunch of mingled mess, not a bunch of this or that, everybody doing after the traditions of their own understandings, not everybody doing after whatever men tell you to do, however they'd make up their understandings, their abominations, and whatever devious cons they conceive, but with one consent, with one understanding. This was the purpose from the beginning. See, and when God makes himself known, you can believe and understand and know there's a God. He has done a great and marvelous work, exacting upon the people their just reward. See, it's you that have turned from the law. It's you that have given up. It's you that have erred, not God. God is just, standing there constantly in judgment and in blessing for those that will turn, for those that will turn. God is going to turn you to a pure understanding. God is going to pour out understanding. See, he gave the law in the beginning, and again, he gave you the law. 10. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia shall they bring my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed as mine offering. This daughter of my dispersed, this daughter of Israel, these of Israel, they've been scattered in all the nations. God's been trying to gather. God's been trying to add to. God's going to make manifest his great understanding in the earth. Beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. Once again, this Ethiopia, it's Cush. Beyond the rivers of darkness. Beyond the rivers of darkness. Beyond these waters that come down in dark places. Beyond the understanding of man. See, that's what we're talking about. Shall they bring my suppliants? And whose suppliants? These that want to apologize. These ones that are sorry. These ones who want to make atonement now for their sins. These that want to say to God, I have erred. I'm sorry. Make me whole. Return me to your understanding, Lord. Bring me under this covenant of the law. Bring me understand these things. Follow God, not the understanding of men. The daughter of my dispersed. This is what we're talking about. This is that what was supposed to be brought forth in the beginning. 11. In that day shall you not be ashamed for all your doings, wherein you have transgressed against me. For then I will take away out of the midst of you your proudly exalting ones, and you shall no more be haughty in my holy mountain. In God's holy mountain, in God's hallowed mountain, in God's exalted place that you cannot enter unless you've made yourself clean. This is the great city. This is the kingdom of God. And in what day is this going to happen? When God returns a pure language, when God returns a pure understanding of the law, and you see how you have erred. See, this is what they did in Nineveh. This is what they do today. There's no difference. God's using an example. He's used it to parch Zion. But we find out now, in that day, God takes out of the midst of you your proudly exulting ones, these ones that have run their mouths, stood up there in ignorance, opened their mouth against God, raising up. 12. Now I will leave in the midst of you an afflicted and poor people, and they shall take refuge in the name of the Lord. And basically, this is just this is just about as good a way for God to set a little test. See, if you can do away with the poverty, then you'll know you have truly received blessing of God. But see, men are always trying to work their magic, exacting upon people, exacting more and more and more do they exact. But we're going to find out by the time that the exactions get down to those who need it, there's very little left, because those exact require so much. And this is the case, and there's no way to hide from it. There's no way to hide from it, because, see, your system ain't perfect. Your system don't work. See, but God's system does work. And this is why God's going to leave in the midst of you this afflicted and poor people, these people that are always seeking, these people that are always in need, because you'll have to put the Word of God to use. You'll have to put the law of God to use. See? And that's what's going to help them. That's what's going to save them. God give it to you as a law. 13, the remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. For they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. They shall feed and lie down. They'll understand the law, and this will be the rest. The remnant of Israel, those that are left, even all those that are scattered in all the nations. Everybody says, you can't find Israel. They're scattered out. They was dispersed when Syria took them, and there's no trace of them left in the earth. That's just simply not true. See, that's just simply just not the truth. God put it on your heart. God wrote it in your genes. See, that which they had no understanding of. See, God can document who you are at any time. Any time. But these don't have no lies in their mouth. They don't have a deceitful tongue in their mouth. See, that's not going to be the evidence we're going to find out of them. See, because we'll see now, deceit and lies is something that's of man, that men invent so that they can rob and steal, and they can magnify themselves wealth. The wealth's taken out of it. See, there's no wealth in it. When God pours out the truth and God hands out the word, there'll be no more wealth in it. 15, the Lord hath taken away your judgments. He hath cast out your enemy. The King of Israel, even the Lord, is in the midst of you. You shall not fear evil any more. God is there. God is doing judgment, see. God has done judgment. God has made known. God has done this. And this is after they understand. This is when there's understanding the earth. What happens? God has taken away your enemies. God has taken away your judgments. These were strife. This was contention. This was oppression. See? No, there's no one left to rule over you. Why? God's ruling. God rules. The King of Israel, even the Lord, is in the midst of you. See? And he has brought judgment. 16, in the day it shall be said to Jerusalem, fear you not, O Zion, let not your hands be slack. In that day shall it be said in the city of the teachings of peace, that's Jerusalem, place of the teachings of peace, fear you not, O Zion. Zion, that parched place. Have no fear, see, because God has redeemed. God has restored through this judgment he set in the earth, through an understanding that went forth, and the violations of it, and the judgments of it. See, God done all this. It was an automatic thing. As soon as you violated the law, your hands should not be slack, because you're going to have more work to do than you can handle. Teaching the law, making understanding known. 17. The Lord your God is in the midst of you, a mighty one who will save. He will rejoice over you with joy. He will be silent in his love. He will joy over you with singing. God's going to have great praise. Why? You're in obedience. You're coming to obedience. You have understanding. See? Your obedience is willfully and with understanding. See? It's not a rule. It's not a rule over you. It's for your own good. As a father gives love for your own good, tells you to stay away from these fires. These fires bring death. These fires are the way of perversion. These fires are the way of men. See, this is what men do. It's for your own protection. He will be silent in his love. This silent in his love, what it is God is going to engrave his love into your heart. Engrave this understanding of his law into your heart. He has made it known. He has wrote it down. He has engraved it so you can see it. He has done it. 18. I will gather them that are far from the appointed season, who are of you, that have borne the burden of reproach, even all those who have been afflicted, who have been brought down. Why? They've made themselves obedient to the law of God, and everybody's mocked them, saying this ain't what saves you, this ain't what's going to do it. Without knowledge, not knowing that they have more understanding than all we together who never seek after the Lord, and who have gone greatly astray from God's word. Gather them that are far from the appointed season. This appointed season is because it's for a time. It's like a season, and how the seasons are divided from winter, spring, summer, and fall. See, they go around this circle: winter, spring, summer, and fall. So this is like an appointed season. This is a time already set aside. See, the life itself has the time of spring, when these things come to life and they bring forth, in the summer when all the fruit's coming out. See, all this fruit's coming out on the tree as it goes through its cycle. That's what we're talking about. Its season. The tree has its season. And in the fall, the fruit does ripen, and it's brought in, and but the winter comes. See, how long does the fruit last? Can it make the winter? 19. Behold, at that time I will deal with all them that afflict you, and will save her that is lame, and gather her that was driven away. I will make them to be a praise and a name whose shame hath been in all the earth. These are those that have been afflicted, these that have been oppressed, even by this, even the punishment of God that he's brought upon the earth. See, they've been caused to be under this. God caused this great weight even put upon them in judgment for recompense. See, they wasn't going to get out of this recompense from the beginning. Twice had to pay for it. And these that are afflicted, these that are lame, these that have been harm has been done to, these ones that have been taught a lie, that have been made to believe this, that have been afflicted by man, even those that have been lamed. They can't walk no more. They're crippled inside. Why? They don't know what to believe. 20. At that time will I bring you in, at that time will I gather you, for I will make you to be a name and a praise among all the peoples of the earth. When I turn your captivity before your eyes, saith the Lord. And one, we had the captivity the first time of Babylon, but see, God had a greater work to do than that, even a greater captivity of Babylon to bring around. Even for these great examples that he used, these similitudes. Even this thing that was going to take a while. It's going to take some time to develop. Even this thing, he had to bring the whole world under confusion. All the earth had to come under this. See, God's gathered the nations together for punishment. God's gathered the nations together in judgment. God's gathered the nations together so he can make himself known unto all the earth that God has done this. See? That he can restore a pure language, that he can restore an understanding of the law, that he can remove once and for all the false prophet, these ones that speak lies, these ones that have turned your head. All right, turn and return. We're finishing up this book of Zephaniah, the book of Zephaniah is this one who finds this treasure of God, this even the law of God, because that's what they've corrupted, that's what they've polluted, that's this hallowed thing that they've defiled. See, this was the table even that was set before you. These were the trees that you was given to partake of. But we're going to move forward to Jeremiah now. Jeremiah, and I hope to see you there.